When Jesus set up the church, he didn't set up the church so it's like, okay, you guys, what I need you to do is I need you to gather every Sunday morning, and I need you. There was no. He didn't define church that way. He defined church as a movement, and really he defined church as a movement that was going to challenge the very gates of hell. So I see we're going to move into places that I think the church has retreated from. Historically, it's like I think the church, the body of Christ, was more involved. We've really retreated from some areas that I don't know why we retreated from them. I can give you all kinds of historical things, but that's not the point. The point is like, okay, now the Lord I really see us calling us back into salt and light, into cultures, and not just cultures, like into businesses and into industries that maybe we've historically run from. It's like he's calling us back into that, and those industries need that. They need us. They need us, really, and so that's what my prayer now is. One of my prayers is like, he who is wise wins souls. And it's like, Lord, you got to give us souls. That was the reason we did this. It's like because we want the people that don't know Him to come to know Him. So that's why we're doing it. So, but then the next part is like with what you guys are doing. It's like empower you and to empower others. Like I'm going into areas that maybe the body of Christ has run from. I'm going right in there.
That's right.
And you're going to make a difference. It's like you guys make a difference. The people that we're going to raise up, they're going to make a difference. It's like the kingdom. What did Jesus pray? He said, I taught you to pray.
Yeah.
Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's like, so the point is like we're supposed to invade the darkness with the kingdom.
Welcome to Good Service. We are your hosts, Ben Chung
and Kevin Haw.
Each week we'll be having real, raw, and vulnerable conversations about life, faith, and everything in between, and always over a fire meal.
Come grab a chair. Let's eat.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Good Service. We are your hosts, Ben
and Kevin,
and we have a very, very, very special person in the pod. I am very excited. This is a long overdue guest. He's been ducking the pod for a long time.
We've been bothering him for a while,
and he's been letting us just record in his home.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what it feels like.
Folks, today we have pastor and chief innovator of the Lab here in Gardena, California. Hey. He is the author of the book Displaced Cowboy. We have Scott Fairchild in the pod.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Finally, Scott. Finally.
Yes.
But we know that everything happens when it's supposed to happen.
That's right.
Yeah, as I was saying, we've been here at the Lab recording for over a year. And thank you to you and Tracy for opening up I would say, essentially, it's your home. And we've been so blessed by not only just being able to record here, but being able to just spend time with you guys. And you and your wife, Tracy, have been super gracious to us. And this place is, I call it like an oasis in the city of LA. And every time people come here, everyone's always like, what is this place? And, we give them the tour, and there's this beautiful... garden and in the back, and then just so many things. We've hosted dance workshop here with the Ark, many
galas,
just gatherings, Bible studies, potlucks, so many things.
And Good Service Podcast.
So we definitely background here. Yeah, we definitely want to get into the Lab. But I just wanted to just express gratitude to you, and and what's been really interesting, I jokingly say you've been ducking the podcast, but like something about that really is interesting to me, because as a pastor, as somebody who is no stranger to standing on stages and preaching and just being very front facing. And this is something that we've discussed a lot, even on this podcast, of like why we do this and what are our motivations in doing this. And we've been like having to check ourselves, like, hey, like, Kevin, even just as we opened up, he prayed like, this isn't for us to be the biggest podcast, or for us to be known for being podcast hosts. And it's in this day and age where anybody with a camera and a microphone can develop a platform, and it's very easy to get caught up in chasing platform. And so, when I think about you in this incredible space, I think just even in the way that I, in my flesh, would think like, man, like you should be out there more. You should be letting people know about what you're doing, and, let people know your story. And, so many times you've said like, no, I'm okay. And I know you've had some health issues and things like that as well. But I think the thing that really stood out to me was like, you are not somebody who chases the platform. And unless you really feel like God's putting something on your heart to say, then you don't really feel like you need to really say anything. And you to me, you've always been a very quiet presence here, which is interesting. Like, this is your place, but you're not really out there, and like I just feel like Scott's just kind of hovering in the background. And then
you just feel his presence.
Feel your presence. And so you have this book out, and so I was praying about I pray about the lab all the time, because I think of this place as like an oasis, a place in LA where it's very easy to pass by a place like this and not know what it is. Sure. We're very used to occupying spaces that are very just like quick transactions, and I'm here to do a job, and I'm here to meet somebody, and like this place, I feel like restful when I'm here. Like I sense this, like there's this, I can be here for something, but I can also feel like you can kind of slow down and rest. And so, and I also know like outside of this place being called the lab, it's called City Barn, which is also interesting. Right. Like a barn within a city, like, huh? And so, so as I was just praying for you today, and I was just kind of all the things of like, when I think about you and your presence, and also, this book that you have out. And so I was asking God, I was like, okay, Lord, like, where are you taking us in this question? And I think about, myself and Kevin, and like, where we're at today, like even being here and having a podcast. I personally would have never thought that we'd be doing this. And so, so the question that I was just asking the Lord, like, what about us kind of being in spaces that we never thought we would be in? And I was like, I didn't think I would be here. And so I'm like, I'm curious if that's where maybe inspired maybe with the book that you wrote. So the question that I feel like we're gonna start our conversation on is this where you thought you'd end up? Is this where you thought you'd end up? It's a weird question. I know, it's weird. It's kind of different. But yeah, before we get into the question, so I'm going to drop that first because I know we're going to start marinating on that. But before we get into the question and convo, where we're at, where are we having today, Kev?
We are having Hilltop, I think, Cafe. Yes, yeah, Hilltop Cafe.
Coffee and Kitchen.
Coffee and Kitchen. We're having these amazing breakfast bowls. Yeah. They look so appetizing on the internet that I had to do it. And we're having also these tater tots.
Let's go.
And so what's in this bowl is I believe it's like a Mexican style breakfast. Yeah. What it looks like to me, like a fusion. So there's bacon, avocado, sausages. We got the, it looks like pico de gallo with some Spanish rice, eggs, and some black beans.
Yeah.
So let's dig into it.
Shout out to the homie AJ. Shout out to the homie AJ at Hilltop.
Shout out AJ.
Yeah, so.
We'll get our bite ready as we think about this question.
Let's get our bite ready. Let me just refresh the question is this where you thought you'd end up? Yeah.
Jeez, dude, that's such a deep question.
Yeah, help us, Lord. Help us, Lord, figure out.
Let's not mess around. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. So
no, this is not where I intended on.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Having breakfast with us on a podcast.
Let me clarify that.
Oh my God!
Would I change it? It's like no, no. And that was I'll tell you a little bit about the book. There were several things that you brought up. It's like one, just like being in the background. I will tell you this for Tracy and I. We had a big sign that we had in the church when we were doing church on Sunday morning. We actually have it upstairs now, right outside of the gym door. It's a great big sign that says, "We set the stage for your story." Mm-hmm. The heart of Tracy and I really has always been, it's like we want to be able to set the stage for others. Like I could stand up in front of people. I know how to do it. I've done it well. I get probably more satisfaction watching you guys and seeing the success and seeing what God is doing in you and what He's doing in the podcast. That means more to me than if I had my own podcast and it was doing really well. It's like we love that. We love that, and we see people growing. We see that people that started in this, like Ed's a great example. It's like, seeing where he was with his marketing and where he is now. It's like watching Senna and Sarah, and you're watching all these people as they grow. It's like, man, we love that. We love watching those kind of things. So
that's awesome.
That's the first part of it. I will tell you, as far as I came up with this whole idea of displaced cowboy way back when I think, was it Instagram? Was just starting, and it's like everybody had a handle, or maybe it was Twitter, whichever one. It was just one of those things.
This was a while ago.
Everybody's got a handle. It's like they didn't just come out with their names. Like they had to have something. And I thought, what am I? It's like I'm a displaced cowboy. And the reason I say that is because I grew up on a farm. I grew up in the middle of Kansas. My nearest neighbor was a half a mile away, and that was about close enough.
Away is crazy.
It was like, and so, I grew up riding horses, grew up with cattle, grew up with hogs. I was just, we farmed. It's like,
wow.
I loved all of that. It's like, so then to put us into LA, it's like, and even when we moved to LA, Tracy and I thought, okay, we're going to come out here, because when we started out here, we were just going to do youth ministry. And it's like, honestly, it's like, when the pastor called me and said, how would you like to do youth ministry in LA? It's like, let me see, we're 5 miles from the beach. It's like, you got Hollywood, it's like, who's not going to say, yeah, I'll come do youth ministry in LA for a while?
Not to throw ages out, I just want context. What year was that? Because LA was different from now to then.
It's 1991 was when we moved here.
That was a good place.
91.
That was a good place.
Okay.
LA was interesting then.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
Very different. And so you were still in Kansas when you got the call to come out to do ministry?
No, I had moved from Kansas to Oklahoma to Michigan, and Michigan is where Tracy and I met, and that's where we got married. And then the pastor that I had worked for in Oklahoma had moved out here, and he said, "Hey, how would you like to come out here?" And it's like, "Well, okay, we'll come out here for a little bit, a little bit." And we're
a little bit,
34 and a half years later. It's like, so we're we're only here for a little bit. Yeah. But the power of being displaced, that's part of the things I wrote in the book. And the reason I wrote it in the book is because I had come through my own experiences. And I will tell you, there was times when I would go home for vacation and I would stand out on the farm and I would cry. I was like, "Lord, what did you do? How could you possibly have done this to me?"
What did you do? I know that feeling.
Yeah, but I'll give you an example. It's like, okay, so the Apostle Paul. Let's just think about the Apostle Paul. Okay, so he's as Jewish as they come. So you would think, okay, when he comes to Christ, all right, he's going to go to the Jews. And who did God send him to?
The Gentiles.
The people that that would have been like the lowest place, like the very last place he would have gone. And I bring that up because I really believe that that's what God does. It's like, I'm going to put you in a place that is going to be very uncomfortable, but that's where your greatest growth is going to come. Man. I mean, you think about it. I use in the book, and I put the quote from Abraham. It's like, and the Lord told Abraham, he said, "Get up and go to a land that I will show you."
Oh, goodness.
And it's like until you get up and go, I'm not going to show you anything.
Wow, yeah.
And that's 3 episodes now, by the way.
Well, and the deal, think about it. It's like it actually was saying, it's like, I want you to leave the family that you grew up in. I want you to leave everything that you're familiar with, and I want you to I'm going to take you into a place that you're completely unfamiliar with. And so, but it's so powerful what you learn and what you grow. It's like, I don't know that you really fully know who you are until you're in a place where you're displaced.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Man, Scott, like, I'm kind of getting goosebumpy here. This is the 3rd episode that exact verse and story of Abraham has been quoted now to us. The 3rd one in a row. Mm-hmm. And it's the season that we're in. It keeps bringing this conversation up, and 100%. And like, even just hearing your story, that like totally makes sense now. Displaced cowboy, I totally get it, because I didn't know. Like, I knew the farm connection was there. I knew you're not originally from LA, but hearing all the places you are from, like, dude, how the heck did he get to hell? It's so random. And you're absolutely right. You do grow the most in those uncomfortable positions. My God, I'm being like convicted as I'm sitting here, dude.
It's very, it's weird how God confirms things, because he does it in ways that speaking of uncomfortable, yeah, I don't know why we think that everything needs to be comfortable. I mean, I guess our flesh is just like, we don't like discomfort. Mm-hmm. I was reminded even this morning, I listened to this like morning devotional podcast, and I think it's at 2 Peter. I forget the exact address on it, but it was saying like, when the fiery trial like comes upon you, like, don't be surprised when the fiery trial comes upon you. And then the book of James talks about trials. So there's so much in the Bible that talks about this is coming. So don't be surprised when it comes. Actually, it's a good thing when it comes. Mm-hmm. And so, when we are stretched beyond our comfort is where we find our true identity. We find like where God really wants to have you, because I was just reminded even yesterday that like, God will never put you in a situation where you won't depend on him anymore. Mm-hmm. So God's love is that he'll always place you in a place where you must depend on him. So when we're too comfortable, so basically he's saying that God will never let you be too comfortable, because he loves you too much. Right. Because if you're too comfortable, you'll just abandon him and you'll just go off on your own. And he knows that's not where you're going to be in your best place. Mm-hmm. And so, that's crazy that, again, the 3rd time in a row that this conversation topic, even your specific reference to Abraham and like his call to leave, like, you won't know where you're going until you leave, literally talked about it just like last couple episodes. Okay, so I don't know. I we might have cut you off there, but like, you just wanted to jump into like note that. Great. But okay, so again, going back to that question of like, is this where you thought you'd end up? So you came here with your wife, 91, to do. Did you respond to the call for youth ministry? Was that a yes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And where was that? What was that a church? Was that the church over here?
Yeah, it was at the church, and part of the thing that I actually wrote in a book is like, there was a point where, again, I'm looking at it, it's like, I mean, I thought it'd be really cool to be out here and like, again, doing youth ministry out here. It's like, but we came in with these Midwest, I guess, kind of Midwest values and roots, and it's just, we were displaced from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Because we just didn't quite fit in with the culture, and that was okay. And that's part of what I hope maybe out of the book people read that. It's like, it's okay to not quite fit in, because you're not supposed to quite fit in. You're supposed to be you, and it's in the process of you being you and I'm me that we come up with this dynamic that could never be you'll never see the creativity, you'll never see the growth if we all thought the same or we all were exactly the same or anything like that. I mean, God loves diversity. It's like I think it's a part of the kingdom. It's like, and if we're not diverse, if we're not pursuing that, remember this, like Revelation is like every tribe and language and people and nation, and they're all around the throne room. And I used to tell the church on Sunday morning, I was like, look, I just want to look like heaven. I just want to look like heaven. And it's like I read this part of the book that said every tribe and language and people and nation. And so we would gather them in. But there's a point in the book where it's a story that I had to adjust it a little bit. But I was doing a youth thing, and I was taking these kids on retreat, and there was one of the kids who was so mad at me. He said, "Screw you, farmer boy," and he went.
Whoa!
And he ended up going to retreat anyway. I don't think he ever apologized, but it's like, but he was mad because I was not who, whatever, I wasn't who he thought I should be. I was I was an outsider. I was whatever it may be. But we got that a lot. We actually got that quite a bit. And you think it's like, okay, well, we should have all fit together. It's like when we didn't. But again, that's where the growth came out of. Does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Like that's really where growth. And I'll give you this other example. It's like, okay, I grew up in a small town in Kansas. I grew up. There was 200 people or 200 kids that graduated together. Probably, I want to say 5 of them. I'm not really remembering. It was a while ago when I graduated from high school, but it was like 5 of them were not white. So I didn't grow up around a culture that was mixed. But again, the displacement, we came here, and especially when we became senior pastors, we ended up drawing people that just didn't fit anyplace else. And one of our prayers was like, Lord, give me the ones that nobody else wants. Because I read a few things there in the scripture where it's like,
that's a crazy prayer, by the way.
It's a crazy prayer. And
I would not want to pray that.
Well, I will tell you, there's been some prayers that afterwards I go, what did I do that for? But anyway,
that was dangerous. I was like, whoa.
Give us the ones that nobody else wants. And what was so amazing is that the Lord really did bring in. He brought in all different. They were all different backgrounds. They were all different. And I will tell you this, like, I think one of the things that separates people is not just color, it's economics.
Yeah,
I think economics actually
100%. Causes
more division than anything else.
Yeah.
I 100% agree on this.
So I use this as an example. There was a lady that, and I love this story, this lady that started coming to the church, and she lived behind a gated community in Manhattan Beach. Now, if you know anything about Manhattan Beach, it's like not already. It's like they're like
super nice,
super nice. And then she's in a gated community inside this super nice.
Yeah, so like upper
place.
echelon.
Yeah,
we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, these homes. We visited her a few times. Like the homes were just wow. Yeah. But anyway, she came to the church. She got involved in the church, and some of her closest friends were there was another lady that most of the time she was on the street and slept on the street, but they would sit there on Sunday morning and they would be praying for each other, and I thought, okay, that to me was so powerful, because we're breaking dividing walls of hostility. Ephesians chapter 2. You're breaking dividing walls, and it's like I love that. So we had people. I will tell you, when we did the international potluck, it was a for real international potluck.
That's right.
It wasn't just somebody said, "Oh, I'll bring French fries." Yeah.
What's up, Stewards? So people have been asking us how they can support the podcast, and the best way for you guys to support us is by joining our Patreon. As a subscriber, you're going to get exclusive content such as Q&As, bonus interviews, hot takes, vlogs, and so much more. This show is a labor of love, and we do have financial needs to keep the podcast going. So if you would like to join our Patreon, log on to patreon.com/goodservicepodcast and join our community today. We love and appreciate you so much, Stewards. Thank you so much.
I got to say, this explains like so much of like what I see the space that we're sitting in today, that all that groundwork of the displacement, the accepting of discomfort, the willingness to challenge, the willingness to trust the process is what we're sitting in. Because when people say they'll come to this facility and be like, what is this? They're saying it for two reasons. I know that they're saying it because they literally are seeing a beautiful open space that doesn't really exist in a lot of places around LA. But they're also saying it because I know that they're feeling something that they cannot see. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, I truly believe that because the Holy Spirit is here, and it's because the purpose drive of where it all started still stems from this true want of full obedience in what God wants. And I feel that from you and Tracy every time we talk. Mm-hmm. And none of us are perfect. We have so many flaws and imperfections, but that through line just comes out of you guys. And I just want to tell you that. I've always felt that from you guys. And that willingness to want to be uncomfortable. And I think that is such a powerful and impactful thing to lean into, which I get. It's not easy to do that every day, because sometimes I'm just like, wow, screw these people. Like, it's so easy just to like say it and feel it. Mm-hmm. And then like when I pull back from that moment, I'm just like, ooh, what have I done? And you just feel it immediately, that disconnect from love, and I want you to know, like, I really appreciate anyone, especially you guys, just willing and trying to just embrace that tension, because I feel it in this place, the effort over years that you guys have done. It just exists here. And so I want to first give you guys those flowers, and because no, really. And because when I think of the question, did I think I'd end up here, we all kind of say no, because like I think when you're obedient to the Lord, he just takes you to the craziest, wildest places. Mm-hmm. Whether it's literally physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, in all aspects, everything starts to just change. And it doesn't change like in a way where it's like slightly different from your original life or your previous comfort. No, it is quite drastic. It is always drastic. Mm-hmm. And maybe the timeline may look different for some others, but the drastic nature of it, I've never seen someone that's been touched by Jesus that their lives look the same even a month or a year from that moment. Yeah. You just never see that, And so the easy answer is no. And then without going all the way back to, my infancy and like thinking of like where I started, I just want to talk about my current season. In my current season, I thought I would have a closed business. And to say that like in a public platform is a little scary as a business person, because that's what I thought. I think I'm done with this industry. I think I'm done. And that's really how I felt, because it was honestly just too hard. It was really hard. And I felt like whatever I felt the call from the Lord was to do, I felt like maybe I'm not the guy. Maybe my partner's not the guy. Maybe our company's not the company. And it's okay to just let that go and just wait for the Lord to call me into a new thing. That's really where I thought. In the back of my mind, I knew that was the easier choice though. But I leaned in because I was like, it's easier. Like, it doesn't feel so painful. So I'm going to lean that way. Mm-hmm. And then quickly he was like, no, you're not done. You're not even close. If anything, you're just getting started, Kev, is what he started to say. But I wasn't able to physically see it, but he was telling me through my prayers and through my meditations and through my writing, all these verses just kept coming. Habakkuk, a lot of business verses there.
Yeah.
A lot of like leading men verses, a lot of gathering verses, a lot of like Luke, in Luke, a lot about the ways to do business. You know, it just kept coming back, and I was like, dude, I thought I was done. Like, you know, and then I just kept saying, Father, I hear you, I don't see it, but I'll trust you.
Yeah,
that's all I can do.
Yeah,
and I had no idea. I literally didn't. And as I was just kind of doing the motions, in the waiting period, you're not too sure if anything you do is right. That's what it feels like when you're waiting. Nothing feels right. Everything feels this kind of feels like my decision. But I hope I'm okay. And I would like pray for forgiveness if it is.
Right.
That's what am I supposed to do, you know? And so I just keep in that. I'm just waiting. Because he's telling me, hey, focus on your work. And yet I felt like, are you sure? I kept saying, like, what is this, Lord? Are you sure? He's like, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And I would hear it over and over again. So I'll just take a deep breath, because I know in my history, this process has existed before. I know in my history, I know that if I am obedient, greater things always come.
Right.
He's fixed my marriage. He's fixed my fatherhood. He's fixed the way I love people. He's fixed all these things. He fixed my depression. He fixed so many things beyond my control. So how can I not trust him now, is what I realized in that moment. So I said, okay, I'm gonna just go deeper. I'm just gonna wait. And what's weird about waiting is that it comes all at once. It's weird, because like you've been praying in anguish, and then when you finally go, you know what? I don't even care. I'm good where I got comfortable in the wait. I got comfortable going, I'm good with the unknown. I'm okay here now. Let's just live like this. So I just thought forever I would just struggle, and this was the point of life. And I got really excited about the Lord. Like, this is it. I'm great here. And suddenly he goes, okay, it's time now. And he just poured it on.
Wow.
He just poured it on.
Yeah.
So much so that I had to keep questioning that. What is going on? Is this what this was? And then I'm such a brat that as he's pouring it on for the prayers of what's next, and now he's showing me what it is, I'm going, put me back to the waiting.
Yeah.
Let me go back to waiting, because I got comfortable there, Lord.
Wow.
I don't want to do this new thing that I've been waiting for, that is the answer. Put me back in the waiting.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild? I'd rather be displaced and uncomfortable than whatever this new thing is, because this freaks me out even more now.
So on the front of the lab, right when you walk in the lab, what would you do if you were not afraid?
Yep.
And that's been the statement or the question that Tracy and I, in every situation, is like even that, it's like, okay, but what would I do if I wasn't afraid? Now, and of course, you guys know, it's like that's the reason that there's 365 times in the Bible it says "fear not," is it because that's going to be our greatest thing. Yeah. But to be able to step into those things that God has for you, or like you stepped into the waiting, and it's like, yeah. So then you get comfortable, and then He says, okay, now let's take the next step. It's like, no, I'm good here. I'm really good here. But then you have to do the, but what if I wasn't afraid?
I feel like, Ben, instead of answering the first question, I want you to answer that question. What would you do right now?
What would I do if I wasn't afraid?
With some context, did you catch up, Scott, and like the things you've been?
Yeah, a little bit.
You kind of know
a little bit,
okay.
And I know we're going to talk a little bit more later too.
Yeah.
Well, before I answer that, I actually have another question. I will get to that, but the question that I have. The word displaced, I know we're using that like a lot. And in my head, just for the sake of like my brain works weird sometimes, like I'm I'm like, what's the difference between being displaced and misplaced? Like, because we use certain words thinking that I think I know what that means, and maybe for the sake of somebody out there who might be like, what does that mean, being displaced? But there's also the word misplaced. When I think misplaced is like I lost something, like I misplaced my keys, like I lost it. So, in your mind, Scott, I'd love to hear how you define what displaced means. What does that mean for you?
That's a good question, and I've never had anybody ask me that, so I got to think through that. It's like because it is okay. In the process of being displaced, I mean, there were plenty of times of like, Lord, you misplaced me. You put
wrong
again,
place.
I go back,
you took me to the wrong place.
Yeah. You saying it?
You took me to the wrong place, but then I have to go back to. Well, even if it was the wrong place, one of my favorite scriptures is that He works all things together for good. Yeah. And so I just figure, all right, Lord, I'm going to take this step. If it's the wrong step, you'll even turn this for good. Somehow or another, you're going to turn this for good. So it's like, okay, I'll trust in that.
Amen.
The misplaced, that's a great question. It's like, what would? Again, I got to go back to what Kevin, where you're talking about. It's like, okay, if I'm going to trust in Him, then I have to trust that it's not misplaced, it's displaced. And so I think that's part of what faith is anyway. It's like, the wrestling with is like, Lord, you've obviously misplaced me. You put me in the wrong position.
Right.
And I go back to Paul. It's like, I'm sure there's more than one time that Paul said, I'm in the wrong place. That there's no way. It's like, I mean, think about it. The guy he was shipwrecked. He was left for dead. You go down the list, and it's like, if anybody could have said, yeah, you really misplaced me because look at all the stuff that's happened to me.
He would literally say that in the beginning of some of his letters, right? He'd be like, I would be there, but
yeah,
that's I would. Put it, yeah. So he's literally telling people why he's displaced in the beginning of his letters, even. So that was like his constant life. So what I'm hearing then is displaced in the definition is really saying, this is a place that you're being taken from, and then you're being taken to a new place, and you're almost doing that in a abruptive manner. That's what it sounds like a disruption.
Would you feel like there is something to being taken out of your home? Like when we even talk about the displaced, when we refer to maybe the unhoused community, right? Like people who experience homelessness out of nowhere, right? Like now I can't afford to live in this place anymore, therefore I am now displaced. I have been taken out of my home, not by choice, but because of the circumstances have kind of forced me to. Now I cannot be here anymore. So I wonder, if there's something to being removed from quote unquote home, like place of comfort, place that you're used to, and sort of being forced now to be like, I have no choice but to now leave. I wonder if there's something about that.
Okay, so we talked about, but the other thing I put in the book is like there's divine discontent.
Yes.
So there's a divine discontent.
What does that mean?
So
what does that
okay,
mean?
but and I think it would tie maybe into the whole idea of misplaced, or somebody's like, okay, they're maybe they had a home and now they lost their job and they're living in their car and they're whatever. It's like you're in a position. It's like there's no way I should be in this position. It's like and there then it would be, Lord, did I miss something someplace that you put me into this position where it's like there was an answer somewhere and I missed that, and we're kind of doing this, we don't know exactly. We're trying to, what's the right word to use? We're hypothetical. It's like we're getting hypothetical. It's like, and that's a tough place to be in, to be able to say, okay, how do we answer all of those questions? I would answer the question with first obedience. It's like, Lord, as far as I understand, with what I know, this is where I'm going and this is what I'm going to do. and stop me or cut me off if you need to. It's like this is where I'm going, and it's not an arrogance. It's with all my heart. It's like, Lord, I want to be obedient to what you called us to do. And I will tell you, I mean, there's been times when it's like, did we miss this? Did we miss what we're doing? And some of the things that the issues that we've run into, because we've run into all kinds of issues. It's like, and I don't want to get into that. But there were the times like, Lord, did we miss you? Were we misplaced? Did we not do the things that we, did we miss something someplace? And for me, I always go back to, but I know what I heard, and so then it comes to, I'm just, Lord, I'm going this direction until you just put some kind of roadblock up otherwise, and it's got to be. And he knows me well enough to know it's like, okay, Scott's going to need a really big roadblock. He knows us well enough. It's like you had talked about before we started. There was something that you were talking about. It's like basically your stubbornness. I'll put that.
Oh yeah,
your stubbornness. But here's the thing. I want to tell people is like, he already knows you, and it's like he sits up there. It's okay. I know Kevin. And I know it's going to take this many months to get him where I need him to go. So I'm going to start here because I know it's going to take this much to get. Because he does. He knows. Nobody knows us better than he does.
Right.
And so, back to the person in the car. It's like maybe that's the one. That's the wake up call. The homeless in the car. It's like, okay, now I got your attention. Now, I need you to listen. It's like, here's what could it be that? Could it be that? So even the misplaced really could be displaced because he wants you to get to some place. He always has our best in mind. He always abundantly and beyond anything we could hope for or imagine. Ephesians chapter 2, he says, I've got great things in store for you. I mean, I created you as a masterpiece, so I've got great things in store for you. I'm going to do something that's going to make you come alive. Does that make sense to you?
That's right.
And so, yeah, there's going to be some times when maybe you're misplaced. You maybe call it misplaced, or it's displaced, or it's divine discontent. Any of those things where it's just this uncomfortableness where it's like, okay, now you got my attention.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Full
Does
attention.
it make sense to you?
It does. It does. And when you pair it with that, when you say divine discontent, divine discontent, the way that I would define it and the way you're saying it to me, it's you are uncomfortable and you know that God is in it all. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's uncomfortable, but you're like, okay, God, I know you're here. And I feel like I am uncomfortable because I am responding to something that you've been telling me. So I'm not going to say no to it, but I'm also here to tell you, like, God, I don't know exactly how to do it, though. Like, I don't know where you're telling me to go. I think you're telling me to wait. And I love how the way that you framed the fact that, like, no one knows us better than God, right? So he knows how we operate. He's like, I know it's going to take you this long for it to click with you. I know it's going to have to take a series of things that, like, just keep dropping in front of you, like, all right, this is how you work, so I know it's going to take you this long. So so the question that you're asking me, or, that's at the front door of the lab, like, what would you do if you weren't afraid? I don't know how to answer that question other than, of course, like, the easy answer is, if I weren't afraid, I would just do it. But then, like, what's it? I think that's the thing, like, that I get caught up on is not knowing what it is. And so I always tell it, like, God, what is it? Show it, like, spell it out, like, draw the picture for me. So I be like, okay, it's that. And I don't think God really does that very often. He rarely shows us exactly what it is. And then going back to the Abraham references, like, you won't know until you leave. And that's where I think so for me, yeah, okay, I guess I'm answering my own question in real time, how I process, verbal processor here. is if I weren't afraid, I would leave. And I think I've been leaving. I think leaving, we think it's like once you leave, you're gone. But like when it comes to life stuff, a lot of times like you are in the process of leaving something. Like for instance, like if you need to move out of your home, you need to first decide, I need to move out of my home. Now let me start packing up my things, right? Takes you a while to pack up everything, selling some stuff off, like packing boxes, suitcases, or whatever. So it's like I'm leaving. I just haven't left yet, but I am leaving. And I think that's where I'm at right now is I've been packing up my stuff and kind of taking my time with it. I'm like, all right, let me take my time to, let me call the moving company. Let me set a date. But I haven't departed quite yet, but I am in the process of leaving. So yeah, I think for me, if I weren't afraid, and then there's also like, I know people who have like up and left out of nowhere, like I just left my stuff behind. I didn't even pack my bags. I just left. And I know people who have that kind of story too. So I think, yeah, there's this thing for me where like, I'm like sort of taking my time, sort of call it even dragging my feet a little bit, like, all right, Lord, I am leaving. I am, I know that there's a date where I need to be fully out of here, but I'm taking my time. And, it is scary. And, I don't know, like, as far as even how I would answer the first question of like, is this where I thought I would end up? Like, no, definitely not. But the term ending up somewhere is, when have we ever ended up and stayed? Never. We've always ended up somewhere, and then we end up somewhere else, and then we end up somewhere else. And so, I think in this place where I'm at right now, I have said, okay, God, I'm ready to leave. I am leaving. I haven't seen the new place yet because I don't think I've fully left, and so, I guess it's cool. Like I'm processing what that looks like. Yesterday, I actually spent the day kind of being a little bit radio silent in terms of I'm the guy who, you text me, I text you right back. If I have 20 unread text messages, my anxiety is just like, oh, I gotta respond to everybody because I don't want people to think that I'm not responding. But yesterday, I felt the Lord was like, you don't need to respond to everybody today, because if you do, your mental bandwidth is going to be taken up by all these responses. And I felt the Lord was like, I want to speak to you today. Be just like off the grid a little bit more today. And I took most of the day, outside of like doing things that like I had to do, but like in terms of entertaining conversations with people, even good conversations, I was just like, I'm not going to do that today. And I go on these like almost daily runs, and I normally am listening to a podcast or something as I'm running. I felt the Lord was like, do nothing, run in silence. Can you do that? And I also even felt the Lord like, you don't even need to pray. You don't even need to like run while talking to me. I did in the beginning, like maybe the first like 5 minutes of it. And I just felt the Holy Spirit was like challenging me to run in silence. Like, don't even talk to me, just be silent. And so I was just like, okay. I was just trying to like look at the sky, the clouds, and I don't know that I got like a full on download after that, but I just felt, I guess the challenge or the encouragement from the Lord was to be present with myself, and to not feel like I needed to do something to unlock something from God. I think maybe that's what it was, because I often think like I got to pray so that I get a download from God. Like I got to read so that I get a download, and like I'm transacting with God. Like I got to do this thing so that God would give me this thing. And I just felt the Lord was like, how about just be still and just don't say anything, don't do anything, and just be silent. And I found that to be so difficult, man. Like I was like, God, why do I can't sit still. Like I can't not do stuff. And so yeah, I don't know. I know I'm kind of everywhere with that, but just my processing and maybe that's a part of fear too. Like if I wasn't afraid, could I just be still? Am I constantly talking? Right. Am I constantly like listening to something? Lord, give me something, because I'm so afraid that if I don't do something, that God won't do something, Yep. And I'm reminded, like, God can do more in our sleep than we can do in our striving, right? Like when we are asleep, God can do much more than when we're just like, let me just turn all the knobs and making sure everything is working. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess that is still revealing to me that I am afraid, because I'm not trusting that things are going to work out, even if I don't necessarily make it work.
Hey Stewards, we all need prayer, so we're excited to announce our partnership with Seedling. Seedling is an online platform for churches, content creators, and different ministries to connect to their communities through the power of prayer. There'll be real people on the other side, like myself and Ben. We're also logged on. We'll be there to intercede for you through voice and through text. Please log on to seedling.so so we can get connected through prayer. Thank you, guys.
You're learning. I mean, I'm just amazed. I think you're stepping into this season with God that is just going to be incredible. And the crazy thing is it's not going to be words that are going to be spoken anymore. You're just going to know. Like I mean, I'll use Tracy and I as an example. It's like I don't have to always hear everything that Tracy says. I just know. Now, how? Why? Because of the depth of the relationship. It's like, Ben, what you're doing right now is so incredible, and it's like an active waiting. In the Old Testament, let me put it this way. We think waiting like la da 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 da. You're just gonna twiddle your thumbs. Mm-hmm. In the Old Testament, it's in the Hebrew, it's an active waiting. You are actively waiting. It's like it's this anticipation, but not an anxious anticipation. You're learning to just rest in Him. This is powerful, what it is that's going on right now.
It is.
Oh my goodness. It's like I'm just listening to the story. It's like, this is awesome. Yeah. This is awesome.
This is one of we talked about being still a few times in the first season of the pod, because that was like a season that we were kind of in.
Okay.
And I remember I've never felt such peace outside of that season. So the more I sat still, the more I was like, this is where I need to be. And that is something I'm wanting more of, definitely in these seasons of mass. It feels like a lot of movement going on.
Yep.
Stillness is definitely what I want. I remember, this is going to sound so silly and so random, but I remember there was and it was just because my youngest one loves to do these like group hug things still, because he's 7 years old.
Sure.
And it's 2 boys, and he's just like, Dad, let's do a group hug. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then what was weird was like we hugged for a second, and then like we lingered there, and I had to like quickly like shuffle around a little because I didn't want anybody to like see. I got so emotional because the held moment felt long, but that felt good. And I realized we don't do these like, or at least right now, because we're so busy, we haven't had like a still moment in like maybe a few weeks. And now a few weeks is too long. Before, months could go by and I'd be like, I'm all right. But now if days go by without stillness, it's too long. And so it matters now, And I got really emotional. I didn't even tell my wife about this, but I got super emotional in that moment.
Yeah.
And I just held it in because I don't want anyone to freak out. Be like, what's going on with Dad?
Right.
But it was okay. I let myself feel that for a second, and I just let it linger, and it felt like really good. And it reminded me, man, I need that with the Lord. I need a big old hug from God and just be with Him, And it just felt different. The need increases, right? So going back to, again, this displacement, we started the journey of how this book was written. Now the book is here for you. Where is God taking you right now? Like in this current season, this book's out. There's changes going on with the lab. Right. Like, how are you feeling, man? Like, I just want to know. Like, you've been through so many shade seasons and different characters of God, different deepness and depths that we haven't been there yet. So where is He with you right now?
I want to follow up with what you guys are talking about, and then I'll tell you where we are. There's a story I've hung on to. I've known it for 30 years or more. I heard this story about this monk, and he would go every day into the chapel, and he would just sit. He would sit at the front pew, so he would just sit there, and he would just stare up towards the cross, and he would just do it for days on end, days and days and days. And finally, somebody said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I see him, and he sees me, and we are happy." And it's like, and it sticks with me because we live in a fast-paced society, and then I think LA is like, if we're just not constantly going, then there's something wrong with us. We're blessed with weather that's for the most part beautiful. The down part is because it's always beautiful, we have to keep going. We got to go all the time, and so we have to. It's like, well, we should be doing this. We should be doing this. It's like and for what you're learning, just that. I don't say anything. Just be with me. And it's like what you're learning is just a depth to the relationship with Jesus that is so incredible that we're still going to run into tough times. But because of where you are right now, this depth and the roots that are going down deep, it's these next, whatever the seasons, because there'll be seasons of blessing and there's going to be seasons where there's going to be challenges. But the challenges, even though they're going to be there, will lose some of its power because of the depth, because you just sat with Him. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the fact that He's with me. Yeah. So
that's so good.
The seasons that we're in is like because we're moving into the next steps that we have with the lab, with just we're working with some other groups. We're connecting with them. I love what we're doing. I love this season. I love every season. Let me back up. Now I love every season. There's
the truth.
Okay, so let's be real. There's some times when it's like, I don't know what you're doing. It's like, more than one time I've told people, it's like, I'm having a talk with Him. And it's like, now, and I know people's like, how dare you say that? It's like, but I know this scripture that says, come boldly before the throne room of grace in Hebrews chapter 4. So it's like, there's times when I come pretty bold, and He's okay with that. He's okay. Dad's okay with that. So
that's right.
He's okay. I'm not going to rattle Him. And it's like, I'm not like I'm the first one that didn't come in and try to give Him the riot act. And he goes,
just banging on the door.
Yeah.
I got to say something right now.
But what I want to learn is to be comfortable in every season that we're in. And this season, what we're seeing is we're working with some new people. I'm going to see some new things going to happen. And the whole purpose for stop doing Sunday morning and doing church every day of the week was, I want to be salt and light. I mean, when Jesus set up the church, He didn't set up the church so it's like, okay, you guys, what I need you to do is I need you to gather every Sunday morning, and I need you. He didn't define church that way. He defined church as a movement, and really He defined church as a movement that was going to challenge the very gates of hell. So I see we're going to move into places that I think the church has retreated from. Historically, it's like I think the church, the body of Christ, was more involved. We've really retreated from some areas that I don't know why we retreated from them. I can give you all kinds of historical things, but that's not the point. The point is like, okay, now the Lord I really see us calling us back into salt and light, into cultures, and not just cultures, like into businesses and into industries that maybe we've historically run from. It's like he's calling us back into that, and those industries need that. They need us. They need us, really, and so that's what my prayer now is. One of my prayers is like, he who is wise wins souls. And it's like, Lord, you got to give us souls. That was the reason we did this. It's like, because we want the people that don't know him to come to know him. So that's why we're doing it. So, but then the next part is like with what you guys are doing. It's like empower you and to empower others. Like I'm going into areas that maybe the body of Christ has run from. I'm going right in there. That's right. And you're going to make a difference. It's like you guys make a difference. The people that we're going to raise up, they're going to make a difference. It's like the kingdom. Amen. You know, what did Jesus pray? He said, I'm going to taught you to pray. Yeah. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's like, so the point is like we're supposed to invade the darkness with the kingdom. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to get to preaching now. I'm going to no. It's like, so I see that it's like
meat
this,
right here. Yeah. This is the meat right here. This is the stuff we like.
That's what I'm excited about. It's like I see, and it won't be us. Like you guys had asked, it's like you guys are just in the background. Yeah, we're in the background, but at the same time, it's our prayers, but it's also then it's like, how do we empower? Because you guys are going to places that I'm not going to get into. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, that's right. They're not going to ask me to come into. That's right. But they will ask you. They will ask some of these other people that are coming in. They're going to go into areas, and it's like that's exciting to me. I think we're on the verge of just amazing things. And I will tell you this. I'll tell you this too.
So good.
I think the next revival will come through business. The next, God always does. Every revival, we always want the revival to look like the past revival. Well, this is the way he did it before. Like, and I was like, yeah, I did that. Now I'm going to do something else. And so I really see this next season, it's going to come in some unusual ways, in some unusual places. And I think a big significant part of it is going to be in business, in the area of businesses, because businesses are ripe. They're heathen. They're ugly. They're ugly what they do to people.
Yeah, that's right.
Some of these industries.
That's right.
It's like, what if the kingdom comes in?
That's right. That's right.
So
I want to double down just real quick on some of the things that were being said, but the overarching thing I want to kind of highlight for the audience is that I don't know why, but as you were speaking about the excitement and the authority and the direction and the obedience where God is taking you, it just made me reflect on all of our guests that we've had on. I hope for the regular listener or a regular watcher of our show, I hope they've noticed the boldness of every guest. I hope they've noticed that being a follower of Christ is not passive whatsoever. Whatever role, position, and opportunity that we're given in the different places, like you said, we go into our areas of whatever God has given us. You're going to go into your area for you and Tracy, wherever you guys have been given like this space. God needs every single one of us.
Absolutely.
And because of that, he doesn't equip us to be passive and quiet and just be people pleasers of the world. It has nothing to do with that. Even though he calls us in meekness and character, we step out with strength, authority, and power. I felt that just from you talking about the excitement, and I wanted to double down and pause and tell the audience, yes, that means you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it does.
And every one of our guests has come in. It's not because of what they've done that they're sitting on the other seat. It's because the Lord said, give them a mic and they're going to talk. And we said, okay. It's simple as that. And so for every position, every space, we are not here to be passive. Salt and light immediately affects everything it touches.
Yes.
And so that's what we're meant to do. Yeah.
So the only thing I was going to say is like I haven't gotten to see all of the shows, but the shows that I've seen is like I totally agree with you. It's like these guys and gals. I mean, they're bold in their faith. And it's like they're stepping into places that probably some Christians. Oh, God bless them. They say how How dare you go into that space?
Yes,
it's
God
like,
bless
well,
them.
then who's going to go?
Who's gonna go?
Who's going to go? It's like
Who's gonna go?
Isaiah 6. Say, who will go? It's
gonna
like,
go?
hey, I'll go. It's like, and that's what
Who's
I'm
gonna
seeing
go?
from a lot of your guests that you've had on. They've been amazing guests, bold guests.
Yeah, I love that you even brought that up, Kev, like as far as the boldness of our guests. And like, you know, we said that whenever, like, as we do this pod, we're not looking for the most, well, who's got the most followers? Like, we got to make sure we get like the highly quote unquote influential people to be on this podcast, because whether you have a following or not, you absolutely matter and you are crucial to the kingdom of God.
Right.
And everybody has a story. And as you were saying that, Kev, like I was thinking about, like Christianity's not a spectator sport. It's not, we don't go and watch people play the game. Like, let me go to church, so let me watch all the real super Christians and be like, yeah, go super Christians, while I just cheer you on.
That's right.
You know, it's funny, like, you know how people who are sports fans, like, you know, if like I'm a fan of the Dodgers, I'm like, yeah, we won. You know, we won the World Series. We won. We. And I'm like, did you play the game? It's like, oh no, but that's the home team. I'm a fan. You know, I supported them. And it's funny that we can associate ourselves with like sport, our favorite team. And we say we as if like we're on that team, but we're just fans, essentially. We're just such fans that we can identify with being on the team. But that's not how Christianity works. We're not just fans of those super Christians. I'm not like, okay, go pastor, you know, go elders. Like, I'm here supporting you guys.
Go elders.
But like, I'm not here to play. I'm just here to cheer you on. Like, no, that's what called being a lukewarm Christian is. It's like, I'm just here to consume and you know, kind of catch some inspiration and then, you know, feel good about myself. And then, you know, hopefully that'll last me through the week until I can get refilled next week. And that is not, you know, I mean, even in the Bible, it says like to run the race in a manner worthy, right? Paul references so many times like a fighter, like, you know, to train as if you are the one. And that is what we are called to do. We're called to be the runners of the race. We are called to be the fighter. We're not supposed to be fans on the sidelines, you know? And to really think even in that analogy, training is difficult. Training takes the discipline, doing the thing that you don't want to do, getting up when you don't feel like it, you know, and doing it when no one's watching, right? It's the stuff that we do in secret that produces the real fruit, right? It's the secret place. It's the you know, character is who you are when no one's watching, you know, and then how is character formed? You show up every day, and it's consistency, and it hurts, you know, and then there are days where we're like, man, I feel I'm injured today, you know, and what do you do when you're injured? Like you sit out and like, you know, let the healer heal you, you know, like sit with God and let him minister to you. And that's the thing where you know, when we're talking about ending up places, we will never arrive until the day that it's finished, right? Like until either, you know, the Lord takes us home or until, you know, he takes us all home, like, you know, and so we're constantly going to be in a place where we're, finding ourselves in a place where like, Lord, I didn't think I would end up here. And you know, I was also thinking about like, oh, we should be used to this by now. And like being comfortable with being uncomfortable, that doesn't ever mean that like it becomes easier. It's like, oh, I've been here so much that I don't feel the pain anymore. You know, it doesn't hurt anymore because I've been here so much. But I think the term being comfortable with being uncomfortable is not finding it to be strange. It hurts all over again. It's not strange though. Like I've seen this happen so many times in my life that I am in that place again, and it hurts just as much as it's hurt every other time, but it's not strange. And so I would say, like I am in that place right now where I am very much feeling the pain and the weight and even some fear, you know, and all of it just reminds me like God is not disappointed in the fact that like I'm still struggling with all of those emotions, but he's also proud in that he's like, you're trusting me. Trusting me faster than you used to. You know, before you would try to fix it with all these other things, but I see that you're trusting me faster. So I think there's a sense where I sense that the Lord is proud of me in that way.
Yeah.
And that's why he even invites me into like, be silent, you know. I don't think I've ever been invited into silence with God, at least for me to be aware of it. But now I'm like, wow, God, you want me to just shut it and just.
And I would agree because I've been through that too, where it's like, okay, I'm not praying enough. I'm not praying enough. I'm not reading my Bible enough. It's like, okay, so I'm going to be more earnest in prayer. So I'm going to get down on my knees. And it's like, but I think same with, not that there's not times when I've needed to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take away from that. There are times when you have to intercede like that. But it needs to shift from I'm doing that because hopefully then he likes what I'm doing and he'll go ahead and act. I mean, that's what grace is. It's like, Scott, you can't do anymore. You can't get on your knees anymore. And whatever, you're 24/7. It's not going to change the way I feel about you. It's not going to change what I want to do for you. That doesn't change a thing. So you need to just stop. So
we forget grace, man.
And that's it's like,
dude.
But and that's the powerful thing about it, growing in our relationship with Christ is just like, okay, I'm okay with just being. I'm okay with just being with Him. It's like, again, not to say I don't pray, because there are times when I do. It's like, Lord, we need this, and I'm praying it, and the prayer is like, my prayer is moved to, Lord, what do you want me to see that I'm not seeing? Because you promised to work all things together for good. It's like, you're going to do it. You're going to do this. So it's like, I need to see what you want me to see, and what do you want to do in me to make me more like you, because I got to be able to handle the blessings that you're going to give to me, that you want me to experience. Okay, that's right. Do what you got to do in me. Get rid of whatever it is that's in me that will not allow me to hold the blessings that you want for me. Does it make sense?
Grace, and then grace in that, and mercy in that.
Absolutely.
I always forget grace, dude. But seriously, we're like so hard on ourselves. It's like ridiculous. You like
remember grace? The thing that like
the reason why we are saved.
Well, it's kind of like it's like once you get saved, it's like it's grace that got you saved. But after you get saved, it's like, oh man, I got it all.
Now it works now.
It's like the work
I gotta
out
work
your
this
salvation.
out, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Scott. So your book, Displaced Cowboy. Who is this book for?
Great question.
Yeah, who is this for?
Yeah, I'd like to say, well, it's for, because honestly, I don't know. To be really honest with you, like,
that's the best.
I don't know.
I love it.
Wow.
I wrote it. It's semi-autobiographical. I'll say that word correctly. A little bit this way. I read it because there's so many little stories in. I've read it again because I was like, there's so many little stories in there. It's like, it's just, if nothing else, it's just reminders to me. It's like, okay, I need to be aware of these things. It's a process. The whole life is, it's like, and I think when you said earlier, it's like, well, what is it? You know, we're looking for it. It's like, I guess in the age that I am now, it's like, I thought it was like, okay, there's the purpose, and once I get that purpose, it's like, no, it's not. It's it's a journey, and so the book is about just the idea of journey. And if it was okay, it is for those that feel like they're out of place, to understand that actually is a gift. The being displaced or being in maybe the wrong place, because the back of the book says maybe sometimes the wrong place turns out to be the right place. It's for those like, I feel like I'm in the wrong place. Like, but just read through the book, because maybe you're not. Maybe you're exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
So I guess it's for me.
Well, I didn't think it's seasons. When I say that, it's like I think it's seasons. I think we all go through those kind of seasons where it's like, okay, I need to be reminded of these things again. You know, and it is. It's all a journey. It's like until we breathe our last breath. It's like it's all a journey and the process, and it's really to become more like Him, and more of Him and me.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, Scott, so we call our show Good Service. We go to these amazing restaurants that provide good food and good service, which ultimately creates a good experience, and which is why we keep going back. Shout out to Hilltop Coffee and Kitchen.
My bowl's empty. I'm so full.
For providing these bomb breakfast bowls and coffee. But good service means different things to different people, good and service. So what does good service mean to you, Scott?
What we seek to do here every day. Just serve whoever comes in, love whoever comes in. You said about that it's City Barn. It's like we call the City Barn is the coffee, and the coffee is it's two things that you would never put together, and we put them together. And
we also roast coffee here.
Yeah,
for the audience. I feel like coffee.
And so that's what it is. So that just to me, it's like it's to love everybody that comes in. To show Jesus to them, whether we actually talk to them about Jesus or not. It's like I want to be able to reflect Him. I once I leave though, and I drive down LA streets, I put Him aside, and I'm teasing.
Jesus, stay in the back of the car.
Jesus is only here, and I only reflect Him. Good service. When I'm here, when I'm out on the road, it's like it's.
You bring up an interesting thing. I know you're joking as you say that. When we read the Bible, we read these stories of like the apostles and the disciples and what they did and casting out demons and Jesus, healing the sick and the woman at the well. All these like really. Wow, like that's incredible. There are these, I don't want to say it's just highlight reel, but they're recordings of things that are notable, so to speak. Like that was a notable thing. Hey, we should take note of that just happened, right? But there's also every single day. The Bible doesn't record every single day of Jesus. It doesn't record every single day of Paul, Peter. And so I would imagine the stuff that isn't recorded in Scripture, how were they on those days? Was Jesus healing people every single day? Was He telling people every single day that He was the Messiah? I would venture maybe not. He wasn't when He was a carpenter, just working essentially. And it's weird to me that like Jesus got paid. You know what I'm saying? Like He would make, whatever. He'd make a table or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And people would probably buy that from Jesus. So like Jesus was a businessman. He was an entrepreneur,
Right.
How did He interact every time He worked? Was He always like preaching, or did He just work sometimes and just like, here you go, here's your table. And like, I love you. I don't know, something, but I bring that up because we probably put some sort of, unintentional pressure on ourselves to be like, unless I preach the gospel and led someone through the sinner's prayer today, I didn't show up for Jesus today. I didn't make Him proud because I didn't lead a Bible study, or I wasn't at a place, feeding the unhoused. Like I just, did my job today. Or I just made it through a day. I think there's something to the expectation we put on ourselves is like what makes us like good followers of Jesus. Are we doing the things that put Jesus on the throne by, pointing people to Him, or is just us showing up in our day-to-day, is that putting Jesus on the throne? Is that showing that Jesus is real in our lives? So, yeah, I don't know. I think about that more and more as I like, when I before I lay my head down, on my bed or on my, to go to bed, I'm like, what did I do for you today, Lord? sometimes I ask myself that, or I'm just like, today didn't really count. I didn't really do anything today. Like, yes, to be honest, yesterday felt like one of those, because I was like, I'm off the grid. I'm not really trying to respond to everybody's texts. And I'm just like, oh, I should have called that person who seemed like he was having a hard time. I should have called him, because maybe that conversation would have done something. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I didn't really do much today. So I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. I know that's just me kind of just thinking a little bit random, but like, yeah, I think what you're saying, like, church isn't just one day a week. It's not just what did you do on a Sunday and how many people were blessed on that one day, but rather it's every day. You know, what you and your wife are doing here on the day to day, that's church, you know? And I think just the day to day obedience that doesn't even need to look like much. Mm-hmm. I believe that that's what the Lord is calling us, just to be. And I think just being is being obedient, because he tells us not to strive. But then he also invites us into partnership with him. There is work to be done too, right? And I think that's like good stewardship and things like that. But yeah, thank you, Scott. I mean, I'm just really encouraged and grateful for, yes, your presence of how you just be. And, you know, you are doing so much more than you realize. And yeah, so grateful for you. And, you know, again, from Kevin and I, just, you know, even being able to just have this place as a home for us has been such a blessing. And yeah, I just want to just encourage you and bless you for that. And for in this season where you're at, and you know, we love to, you know, sort of end the podcast with being or having the opportunity to serve you through prayer. So how can we here, or our listening audience, serve you in prayer during this season?
Okay, I'll give you one quote that when you're talking about this, one of my favorite quotes from St. Francis. He says, "Preach the gospel at all times, if necessary, use words." Mm-hmm. And it's like I feel like that's what we want to do, is be able to. I'm just going to try to preach the gospel.
That's the first time I heard that quote. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
That's going to be written all over my house.
Yeah. You know, and I do feel like that every time we go, anywhere we go, restaurant, we go to the mall, we go to the park, wherever we go, we bring the kingdom. And it's like the influence of the kingdom is there. The moment I walk into a place, the kingdom is here. And all I got to do is be me and be as much a reflection of Jesus as I can be, whether I ever say anything or not. And it's like, so that's, you know, that's preaching the gospel at all times. Just if necessary, use words. So that's what we are. For us, as far as prayer goes, just I continually ask for wisdom. Wisdom. It's like, Lord, the steps of the righteous are ordered of you. And our prayer is like, Lord, I want those steps so that we glorify you in everything that we do. I think a legacy that carries on. What I want for this is that it's not only just the lab here, but that this becomes planted in so many other places. And I want to go to places where the gospel isn't. Wherever it is. I mean, there's some places in the United States where it's like the gospel ain't there anymore. It's like, man, I want to go there. I want to go where they, or at least plant them wherever they aren't. So that's what I want.
Amazing. Amazing. Scott, yeah, man, we just want to, again, just express our gratitude and thank you for, just being who you are. And, you know, as you mentioned, you know, this place, City Barn, but it's also the lab. When I think lab, it's where experiments are, you know, conducted, things are created, and
that's why we called it that. It's called Los Angeles Business Incubator, but we really call it a lab because when Tracy and I started, it's like, we don't know what we're doing. So it's an experiment.
Right.
So it's an experiment.
And when you like let the Holy Spirit lead whatever is being conducted here. I'm pretty sure when you guys opened up this place, you guys weren't thinking that you were going to host dance workshops here and podcasts. I mean, maybe you did. But like you just like opened it up to like, Lord, you create here. You bring the people, you bring the scientists to come and experiment and then let things be birthed out of this place. And I love that was the posture. And I think this is just the beginning, and I pray that the Lord blow your minds with what else is coming. And folks, please keep praying for Scott and Tracy and the lab and what God's doing here. And thank you so much for hanging with us.
For the public, if they wanted to check out the lab and future things or bookings, I believe it's open, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Where would they find
how could
this place?
People find more info?
thelabinc.org. There it is.
thelabinc.org.
Check it out, guys, so you guys can see this beautiful facility.
We'll plug all the information in the caption. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Good Service. If you find this episode to be a blessing or an encouragement to you guys, you can bless us in return, help us out. Follow us, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Leave us a 5-star rating if you feel like we deserve it. Write us a review. Reviews can be anything, something that you're enjoying, something that you've learned, a question, guests that you would love to see us bring on. All of that helps us get visibility on the discovery charts. And tag us. Screenshot that you're listening at Good Service Pod. We repost all of that stuff on Instagram. And if you would like to support us financially, the best way for you to do that is to subscribe to our Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Good Service Podcast. And we also have a Cash App where you can directly support us financially at Good Service Podcast. And for you guys to know where the finances go, it's literally to bring bless us with meals. If you are a restaurateur who would love to bless us with a meal, hit us up. Our DMs are open. But outside of people blessing us, we're paying for these meals out of our pocket. And also, it's really to support our staff that works on the podcast, from the editing to the social media and all that. So please, if you feel led to support us financially, we would greatly appreciate that. More important than that, please keep praying for us. This is something that we feel like the Lord has called us to, and as long as he keeps calling us to it, we're going to keep showing up for it. But we love you guys. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next episode. Good Service. We out of here. Peace.
See ya.
Stewards, thank you so much for supporting Good Service. People have been asking us how you can support the pod. We have a Patreon.
Yes, if you guys go on there, there's additional content. We're going to be doing Q&As, different announcements, and other types of special things just for our tight community. So thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon.
Please subscribe. We love you guys. Peace, Stewards.